My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Mr. Popo's Penguins. And this was a first time watch for me, and it didn't really do much. I thought it was a pretty generic movie. But let's begin talking about the cast. And Jim Carrey stars in this movie, and I thought this was one of his more toned down, subdued performances, almost to a disappointing degree. Like, he still got enough screen presence to him, he still does a fine enough job, but it still manages to be a rather unremarkable performance from him. Then you've got Carla Gugino, who I thought did a fine job, nothing special but serviceable enough. You've got Maxwell Perry Cotton, who was fine. Madeline Carroll, who I thought did a fine job. She's playing the angsty teenager, and she does a good enough job at that. You've got Angela Lansbury, who I thought brought some nice charm to this movie. The movie's always better when she's on screen, and I just really liked what she brought to it. Ophelia Lovely Bond, I thought was kind of flat, to be honest. Nothing impressive. Clark Gregg does. Uh, uh, he's really given nothing to work with. I feel like he could have done a better job if he was given better material. The way his performance exists is just flat. Jeffrey Tambell's only in the movie for the first few minutes, and he's kind of just there. David Krumholtz doesn't stand out in any way, shape, or form, and Philip Baker Hall I thought did a fine job. So the performances range from fine to bad. It's just a rather weak cast, and I think my biggest issue is that I just could not get into this story. Like, it follows the formula you would expect from a family movie like this. The dad only cares about his job, he doesn't pay enough attention to his kids, and then something magical happens and it brings them together. It follows that formula, but it just feels so empty and so soulless the entire time. Like, there was no emotion or no heart put into this movie. And, like, I can see that it follows the formula, but it doesn't do it well. I still think the characters are rather flat, and even some of the writing is baffling. Like, when they find out that he bought a penguin, they're just pretty cruel with it. Nobody reacts in a realistic manner. And then, like, the part before the movie gets sad, well, he goes back to work and he decides to give up the penguins is because one egg didn't hatch. And I'm like, all that fuss over one egg? Like, it just felt so. Like, it's part of it is like so far fetched and so out there, and part of the movie feels so grounded, and I just don't think the balance was there. Like, surprisingly, it feels like a very small scale movie. Like, so much of it just takes place in one apartment, and it just lacks that sense of awe and wonder you would want from a movie like this. To draw a comparison, Paddington, despite it just being a bear living with this family, just has so much emotion and so many well done elements of that movie. And compared to this one, and it just feels flat the entire time. It's rather poor direction from Mark Waters, who has directed some great movies in both Mean Girls and Freaky Friday. And all that said, like, I still like some of the ideas it's trying to do about how this guy has become just like his dad, about how he's cut off the fun parts of his personality and he's just this boring businessman. I like all of that. It's very universal, but at the same time, I wish those ideas were in a better movie. The entire Penguin script just didn't work for me. It did not work. Um, if you've got kids, I'm sure they'll enjoy it. It's not like insufferable or anything, but it's not one I would actively choose to go back to. So I'll give Mr. Papa's Penguins a 4 out of 10. Okay, have you seen Mr. Papa's Penguins? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.